serious on the crypto space, man, for real. And I appreciate you letting me be on here, bro, for real.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So, you know, we'll make introductions and yeah, I'm gonna record this and then maybe I'll edit it, maybe I won't. We'll just wait and see. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. And today I have a guest on who I have been texting and talking to for, how long has it been, man? It's been over a year at least.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, about a year now, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Kane. Now, how do I pronounce your name? Trujillo or Trujillo?
You're wrong on both of them, my guy.
Oh my God. All right.
So I'm Spanish, so it's gonna be Trujillo.
Do that again. I don't even know if I could do that with my mouth.
I'll do it without the rolling the R's. Okay. Trujillo.
Trujillo. Okay.
Yes,
see, my wife could pull that off because she thinks she's Puerto Rican now. So she's all good with the rolling R's and everything. And, you know, she speaks Spanish. You know, my wife taught herself Spanish in like 4 months on some app and was having like conversations in Puerto Rico. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
So anyway, yeah, man, I'm glad to have you on because we've been chatting forever. We've talked about just coming together and shooting the breeze and everything for a while. And dude, I watch your TikToks. They pop up all the time. The last one I saw made me cry. And I showed it to my wife and she was just like, oh, Jesus. And it's this one with the like half a woman in a red dress.
Exactly. Yeah. No, those are the best, man. Dark humor will get the best of people. I'm telling you, man. It's like, it's the best kind of humor. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's hilarious. And it's like, I'm looking at that. And that one's only got 729,000 views so far. And I'm like, what's wrong? Because then the Pump Up the Jam has 12 million. And I'm like, it's a testament to the fact that the silliest shit gets the most views. And, you know, yeah, even on my wife's TikTok, you know, she's always trying to come up with things and everything. She's like, it's always the stuff we think about the least that do the best. So she just said, just stand there a minute. And I stood there. She did this little dance around me. It was like a 15-second video, 32 million views. It went viral all over the place.
I remember it going viral. That was when I kind of like first started, you know, reaching out to you. But I remember, man, like, dude, TikTok, back in the day, it was much easier to kind of blow up. That's when I started my journey, like during quarantine. And videos were going crazy. And I mean, the name of the game is still staying relevant as being a creator. I don't want to get into it now, but yeah, man, it's just like millions of views. That's my job, is to create a video and make it go viral. You know,
you have 3.2 million followers on TikTok alone.
Yes, sir.
That's insane, man. That's insane. 168 million likes. So
yeah, that's wild. The likes is wild,
isn't it? It's wild. And you're not even really monetizing any of this. You have this huge following. I don't think I've ever seen you, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I've never seen you do any kind of like product stuff or like anything, man. We're gonna have to work with you on that.
No, dude,
you got taxes to pay. You're in California, dude.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to sell shit, man. I'm gonna be honest. When I first started blowing up, I started like, I brought out 2 shirts, you know, that kind of like, I guess were associated with my whole little trend that I started going on, and it flopped terribly. You know, unfortunately, I don't think I marketed it correctly. I don't even think it was a cool brand or shirt. I kind of rushed it, you know, just trying to get money real quick while I was blowing up. But yeah, if it doesn't even have to be apparel, man, it could be totally different. But I would love to talk to you about that 100%, man.
Yeah, because there's a lot of opportunity. I've found that it's difficult to promote or talk about anything I'm not actively using myself for some reason. So, you know, that's the best thing, because everything is just natural at that point. You know what I mean? Even my own stuff, you know, like I have that trading bot. It's like, if I'm not using the bot because the market's not good for it at the time, I don't even bother. I don't even talk about it. But if I'm using it, I'm on there all the time. Like, here's what I'm doing. Here's this, here's that. It's just, if it's not natural, then you are selling. And I don't really like to sell. I like to share, you know, and I think that's a big difference. So you're in the crypto space now. Like, that's what we originally first started talking about forever ago. And I think that's great because, when we first started reaching out, you kind of hit me up with this story about you and your dad. And like, I film, like, tell everybody about how we kind of connected and like how things have changed for you since then. Like, what are you into now? And yeah, just share your story, because I'm curious. I'm sure everyone else is. Like, why do we even know each other?
Absolutely. So this was back in, I think, 2020 when the crash really hit, like the COVID, everybody was freaking out and the markets just plummeted everything. So this was kind of when I was familiar with Bitcoin. I owned probably like a couple $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, nothing like, point one of a Bitcoin. Didn't really take it serious at all. The only reason I owned it was because my dad. So every day I came back from school, my dad would be on the computer. I kid you not, and I would always be hearing that crypto guy Simo, you know what I'm talking about? No, he has this accent. He's a very big YouTuber back in the, I mean, he still is, but like I forgot his name. I'll tell you later on when I find him. But basically, I would always come home and he would be listening to crypto YouTubers every single day. And I never asked him about it. My mom always thought he was just wasting his time. He's retired, by the way. He's 72 years old. I have an old dad. He's retired and he just had a lot of free time in his hands. And bro, I kid you not, every single day I just hear this guy on the laptop listening to crypto people. And then this is, I'm going a little backtrack, and I should have started the story around 2020 still. So that was before 2020. I would come home, from high school around like 2018, 2017 is when I started hearing these crypto people on his computer. And then 2020 hit. I'm living in New York City, pursuing acting and film, and the crash hit. 2020, everybody was going crazy. Literally, the epicenter of COVID-19 was in Queens, and I was living in Brooklyn. It was right above me, man. So it was kind of crazy. My mom literally picked me up, drove 12 hours from South Carolina, brought me back to South. She picked me up from from New York City, took me back to South Carolina. I apologize for the little misinterpretation, but so basically, I'm back at home now, and this is when shit got serious. I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, all right, I wanna like talk to you about crypto and what the hell is going on in the markets, because I knew like a little bit that the stock markets were kind of just like not the best place to invest your money. It's just I mean, bro, we all know the dollar is failing. And I knew that kind of before, I guess everybody did during 2020, like when it was kind of obvious. But like I already had an idea that the financial systems were kind of just like fucked up in America. And I never invested anything in the stock markets. And the only things I really did were like options trading for like a couple months. Failed terribly. It's hard, man. And I was just like, this is when I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I need to talk and get serious about this crypto stuff because I'm super intrigued now. And he was like, absolutely, man. First, get into Bitcoin. And then I was like, okay, 100%. So I got a nice bag of Bitcoin around there 2020 when the shit was like $3,000. That was my first initial like full investment in the cryptocurrency, man. Like, and then after that, I was like, okay, Dad, I got Bitcoin. Now, what is your number two hold? And then this is where you come into play. He was like, Cardano. And I was like, okay, 100%. So he sent me your YouTube channel and he was like, Kane, just watch all of this guy's videos and learn. And I was like, well, let's do it, man. Cause my dad, dude, again, he's been a pioneer. He's been like since 2015, bro. It's like he's understood that where the world's heading. He was just he's an old man. He had way too much free time and just like got sucked into this crypto world on YouTube. And you were one of the first crypto or Cardano guys that he watched, man. And like after I was introduced by my dad, I guess my whole world kind of changed in the space because I kid you not, man, the amount of stuff I've learned from your videos in 2 years, it's absolutely incredible. You are basically my crypto teacher. It's pretty cool to think about, man. But every day I go on YouTube, and now because I told you, man, like you've changed my life. I want to get into that more, man. But like every day I still do it for years, man. Like I actually listen, man. I sit here on the computer and I hear every word you have to say every single fucking minute, bro. All the 30 minutes. Like I'm not kidding. I watch just about every second of your shit. I never click off because you always have something insightful to say, and like you're super educated in the space, bro. And like it's amazing. I know you've been building computers since like you were a kid. And I tell everybody, man, I want to tell you guys this too. Like I've been telling my friends in high school. I'm 22 years old now, so I'm like way past that. But like since high school, man, I knew that like this was where I wanted to go, man, the crypto space, because like, it was just obvious, man, that it was the future. And I've been telling everybody, man, to get in, and I always send them your videos. I swear to God, bro, I've sent all my buddies but your videos, but you know what? They never actually dive into it and take it serious. And this is where like it made a difference in my life, man. I took it serious, and I knew that you were right, bro. And I got into Cardano at like 2 cents, dog. Like I went heavy into Cardano, and it was all because of you. And I can't thank you enough. And you did change my life. I pulled out a little bit, but dude, I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. I'm 22 years old. I know it's gonna go to fucking, I watch your videos. I don't want to get into numbers, but it's gonna go, bro. It's Cardano, and the technology. I can't for literally teaching me everything about Cardano that I've.
I don't know what happened. We got the connection. I got what I needed,
Amazing,
so I
man,
cut
bro.
him. I'm kidding. You froze frame for a minute, so like I got everything I needed from him. So this is done. No, I'm kidding, dude. You got me so fused up. Because that's such a powerful. That's just powerful, man. Because I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot in a lot of things. Like, I kind of go in and out of bouts of depression, and I go in and out of just a lot of confusion. And I'm always trying to make sense of the world around me. And I try to just share, because I know I do go on rants and tangents, and sometimes I go in 20 different directions, and I don't even complete a sentence. And sometimes it's hard for people to be like, oh, this guy, but it's I get the comments all the time, like, people that watch from beginning to end, they realize there's so many little gems hidden throughout my rambling, and it's difficult for me, because I've tried to do the edits, and I'm going to cut this out and cut that out, and they end up being very dry, and while they're to the point, it's not the same, and it's not really me. And so I just kind of went back to just saying what I think and feel and throwing it on YouTube, and because I feel like that's the only real way to get the whole message sometimes. And yeah, I'm how's your dad doing now? Like, is he still super into it? Like, yeah, that's awesome.
Every week we talk on the phone like once a week, man. He lives in Colombia, South America. He's got a girlfriend out there, retired. He's just kind of just chilling in life now, and it's because of crypto, like essentially, man, and because of you and all these people that he's been watching. And he tells me, he's like, Kane, look, I know it's not looking bright right now, but just hold, man, hodl. And I've been hodling. I know what's gonna happen, man. It's just a bump on the road. The shit is going to go up inevitably. We're just in a really weird time, man. And you understand where we're at, like in the world today. It's just very strange, and it's weird, man. Like why right now when I'm 22, just trying to get my life started. It's unfortunate that it's happening at my prime time, where I really want to like make moves, and I am still, but it's a lot harder, man. Like imagine if the markets were still going well. Like I had a shitload of fucking money in my crypto account, but unfortunately it's nowhere near, but
Sure.
I'm just holding, man. I'm holding.
Well, I have to disagree with you on that point, man, because you are 22. You're so young. You're obviously extremely talented in your content creation and what you do. And you have a real talent for just creating these short narratives, these short stories in a sense. And you don't even say anything in any of them, really. It's almost like when I first started talking to you before we started recording, we were talking about basically Charlie Chaplin, and it's funny that you thought I was talking about Charlie Chaplin, because in a sense, some of what you do is very much Charlie Chaplin like,
Hilarious.
and I think it's great, but at the same time, man, like these market cycles, these ebbs and flows of these cycles are very much like I almost consider it akin to like sifting gold, right? It's like you get a big pile of gold, you've got a whole bunch of stuff. And this is like the market at its peak where everything is potentially valuable. And then you
Yeah.
sift it as the market starts to come back down, and it's like the cream stays in the pan and all of the shit gets sifted out. And it's the perfect opportunity to make moves, to build. Like this bear market is the time to build, because if you're building now in preparation for what's to come, well, then you're established and you're ready to get everything that's coming if the project has a solid merit, right? If you're just building when everything is hot, well, then you get mixed up in a shuffle of a whole bunch of shit shows, and you don't get the full benefit because you haven't established your name, your reputation, your foundation for anything. You have no history, so people can't see, oh, you started when the market was rough, you're still here ready to shine. It's this whole kind of, at least that's what I look at in a lot of crypto projects now. Oh, you just started in the bull market because you're trying to cash in on what's happening now, and you weren't, that I'm not interested anymore, because I've seen those rise and fall instantly, and a lot of it is a quick cash grab. It's like the applications, the projects, the people that are really in it for the tech and to try and change things are busy building now, So, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can come up with some fantastic ideas, and now is the time to strike. Like, I've got so much shit that I'm building, my social media platform, my game. I've got my, I'm coming back doing daily content again on my channel, because now is the time to educate and build. You're still early, brother. This is all still, Cardano is still a baby in diapers. It hasn't even really reached like post diaper stages yet. We're still waiting for all that.
It's amazing to think about how early. I know, man. You're right. You're 100% right. I heard like that outlook that you had, how like basically if you aren't building now, you're not gonna have like credibility when it's like I definitely just thought that out, and you're right, man. And this is why I highly believe you're going to be a super successful guy in the Cardano space, in crypto space, but like Cardano space mainly, because I see, man, like behind you, you have that crypto thing. I'm sure like you're building a bunch of shit. Like it's amazing, man, for real. And I honestly want to be a part of your stuff, like social media platform, 100%. I would try to figure out how I can make my way in there. And I hope I can produce content on your stuff, man, one day. That'd be amazing.
Dude, I think if you, especially as you continue learning about crypto and what's good, what's not, you have a whole smorgasbord of even short stuff that you could do, tongue in cheek, snarky, funny content related to the crypto space, and be able to share like an education, a message, relaying what you're learning in your way. And you would be such a force, man. And it's like every day you've got nothing but opportunity, so yeah, dude, I definitely think you could do some really cool stuff with that, and make it funny. And honestly, out of the 3.2 million followers you have, how many of them know anything about crypto? How many of them can you change and open up doors that could change their lives in your way of storytelling? Dude, I mean, you have a much bigger reach than I'll probably ever have, and so it's, as your life continues to change, you have absolutely the opportunity, even if it was one a week or one a month or whatever, just to like plant those seeds and get people thinking. So now there's one thing that I've always wanted to ask you, and that is about this fight you did, because you did this boxing fight, this like celebrity boxing fight. And I don't know if it's like a topic or you're like, oh no, hell with that, I don't even get into it, whatever. But it's just like, what the hell was all that?
Dude, that right there, Jason, was one of the craziest moments in my life. And I kid you not, dude, I still to this day will not understand how the hell that happened. I mean, if any of you guys know, probably not. I mean, he's a pretty big rapper. His name's Blueface. And dude, this guy, it just, the stars aligned, the universe kind of, it was the right place at the right time, dude. Like this was literally, this is the craziest story about, I'll tell you the story how it all happened. I was living in South Carolina, and this was again when we were all just quarantined, and this was right before I moved out to Los Angeles. And I moved out to LA probably a year ago, and literally 2 weeks in, I met a guy that he's also a creator. I moved out here for business essentially to network, and I met a lot of creators early on. And one of these guys I met, he actually got in contact with the CEO of Bare Knuckles, BKFC. His name's David Feldman. And my creator friend, he got in contact with David, and he was just like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on a celebrity boxing match in your card?" You know what I mean? And he was like, kind of just skeptical because, man, it's still so early on in the fighting game with the influencers. But like, he did eventually say yes. And Paige Van Zant and Rachel Ostovich, if you
I
any of you
love
fighters,
Paige. I mean,
yeah,
she's like the supermodel of MMA, man.
and
It's just
Rachel
so
Ostovich
sweet.
as well, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were literally the main event, and we were the undercard, the creators, all the influencer boxers. And I was the main event for the creators. It was me and Blueface, and then there were like 4 more other fights. All other creators with millions of followers just fighting. And yeah, it was, dude. I mean, that's my first fight. Nobody really knows this. I don't really talk about it. I don't really go on interviews much or podcasts because I just like to stay in my lane. And unless I'm super intrigued in someone like I am with you and what you talk about, I'm not really gonna bother. But dude, I literally kid you not, man. Like that was one of the craziest experiences of my life. But I wanted to share like what happened. I've never been in a fight. I mean, if you look at me, I don't look like a violent person. That's somebody that's just gonna like,
You don't
get
strike me as a
involved.
killer, Cade.
No,
You
no,
don't strike me
dude.
as a killer.
Not at all. I mean, I'm like 5'10", not really a big guy, normal size, but like, dude, I was never a guy that was just like wanted to. I'm a problem solver, and I don't really like to just get like violent with things, man. I always just talk it out and walk away from the problem. I guess that's what I should say. That's what I always did, and for me to take this fight against somebody that's 6'3", tatted all in his face, known Crip. He's literally one of the most famous Crips in
I
the
didn't
world.
know that. He's a
Yeah,
big dude. Like looking at the two of you in the ring, I'm like, this dude's huge compared to you. Like, what
yeah,
the hell were you thinking? He's covered in
dude,
tats. He looks legit. I didn't know anything about him, but I'm like, it
yeah.
looks like a killer going up against a model. Like, who put this shit together?
Bro, I mean, I'll tell you right now, everyone probably knows the main reason I did it was for the bag and the publicity, man. It's just, dude, it was kind of it was a no-brainer. When I got the call, I was like, fuck, this is gonna be super hard there. But Blueface price that I'm getting with this, the publicity, the views, the engagement, the eyes. And dude, it's cool as fuck, man. It's a fight. Like, who doesn't want to watch that? And the fact that it was on the Paige Van Zant, Rachel Ostovich card, that's once in a lifetime opportunity, brother. And
I
it was
agree.
cool. It was cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I get it, and I think to some degree, it's funny because I always see these guys that are out there and they're like the armchair quarterbacks of MMA and stuff, right? Like everybody's got an opinion about a fighter and all that he should have did this, he should have done that. And it's like everybody thinks they're a fighter because they watch it all on TV, and it's like it's a hell of a lot different when you're in there. You know what I mean? Like dude, when I fought, I got tunnel vision so bad I couldn't see anything but someone. I fought this guy who was 6'6". All I could see was his head. It was almost like pitch black everywhere but his head. So I just kept trying to hit it until he went down. Like that was it. And
Wow.
and everybody thinks, there was no technique to the fight. There was nothing. It was like a bear mauling a bear. And and I watched it back now. I'm like, God, I look terrible. I ended it in 35 seconds, but it was all nerves, and I knew I had to get it over quick because my mouth guard was going to make me vomit.
Yeah, I gotta watch one of your fights, man.
Oh, dude, I've got one on there, and it's not pretty or anything, man. It literally is just two giant guys. We clinch up for a second. He tries to throw me, he misses, and then I just start nailing him, and he goes down and thanked me for fixing his nose at the end of the fight. And
You fixed his nose at the
I
end?
did. I guess it was broken once before, and I guess I re-broke it, and I guess he felt it
Oh
looked better.
shit! Wow,
But
dude.
but everybody thinks they have it all figured out until they get in there, and it's like everything changes. It's not the same world you see on TV, especially when you're planning it and it's coming for weeks. And it's like your mind starts playing tricks on you, and you just kind of say, screw it. So I mean, kudos, dude. I mean, you did it. You got in there, and
Thanks, bro.
I mean, 95% of the people that have an opinion would never get in there and risk it all like that.
It's crazy, especially against somebody that's 5 inches taller than you. And dude, it's like, I don't know why I did. I mean, again, I told you why, but like, it was crazy, man. I kind of knew like going into it that it was just a huge disadvantage. I only had 1 month to prepare.
That's not good though. That's really not.
I shouldn't
against
have
somebody like that guy.
Yeah, I shouldn't have did it. And even the weight, it was pretty ridiculous, man. He was at 160 when I said yes. I was at 130.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. And then I was kind of like on the vegan diet, and I had to start eating a lot of things like, like steaks and shit to get fucking weight going. And dude, it wasn't agreeing with my body, but I had to do it, man. I really wanted to do it because again, it's once in a lifetime opportunity for that guy.
You would probably be really good in the jiu-jitsu game though. Like that's something. Even a white belt that's trained for a few months in jiu-jitsu is going to have an upper hand on the majority of the population, in terms of self-defense. Hands down. A white belt, a white belt that's because it typically takes something like 2 years to go from like a start out white belt to your next level, like a blue belt, and it's like, man, you learn to get real dangerous as a white belt, and people don't realize that. It's not like karate where you got 15 belts and it's all kind of hokey pokey. No, a legit white belt can clean house, like because it's the stuff you learn, and it's not just a white belt. You learn like submissions and transitions and things, but you learn all of it. You learn everything really. Moving forward in the belts is more about muscle memory and connecting things. I go for an arm bar. Well, I know the arm bar. I learned that as a white belt, but then now I learned how to transition out of that and back into something else in a more fluid manner. And that's where you just get lethal. Because if you roll with a white belt, like I roll with black belts a lot, and I know that I don't stand a chance, and they don't even have to try. It's like rolling with a slithering snake, just waiting to oh, now you're done. It's such a different animal, but it's impressive. So yeah, I would definitely, I'd love to see you get into jiu-jitsu. I think you'd be really good because you're a smart guy, and you're built for it in a way. So
interesting. Yeah, dude. So like so you probably know how to like kick some ass if you've gone through like the whole fight game.
Do you have any idea how many guys I've had to put out at bars after midnight that drank too much to see me across the room and want to show their buddies how tough they are?
Bro,
I used to call it street training.
Yeah. What are you, like 6'4", 6'5"?
Brother, I'm 7 foot 290.
You're 7 feet, dude.
Yeah.
I've never met a 7-footer like in person, I don't think.
Neither has anyone in Florida, apparently, because every time we leave the house, I get bombarded. Like, it's insane.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
How is that living? Like, how do you, I'm sure you're used to it, but dude, sometimes like, we're like the world isn't built for 7 feet people is what I'm trying to say. So like,
no, it's not. It's not at all. I mean, like door frames and stuff we have to do because most door frames are 7 foot, and I have to duck under typical door frames. So like in our old house, we had 8-foot door frames, and yeah, it's not easy, dude. It really isn't. There are only so many cars I can drive because I can't fit in most of them. Clothes. I don't get to be super fashionable because I don't tailor every article of clothing I have. So my wife she shops for herself and she checks things randomly. And when she finds something, she buys it all.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. But I mean, it has its benefits as well, obviously, but yeah, I mean, in terms of like combat and stuff, like the older I get, the more peaceful I get. I used to be kind of a hothead. And now I'm like you. I'm like, I'd much rather talk myself out of something. I'll try to like scare you a little bit before I actually have to prove what I'm telling you instead of just jumping right at you. I'll try to give you an opportunity to be like, this isn't really smart. Neither of us want this to happen,
Right, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's weird. I always have to deal with that liquid courage because most guys my size can't fight. Like most guys they've never trained, they've never done anything. And yeah, it's actually because most guys are so big that they generally don't get messed with too often, and they don't put themselves in a situation where they feel they might be in some sort of danger, like bars after midnight. I personally
Yeah.
don't care. I just try to make friends with everybody that works there, and I tip well, so that if something does happen and they're having to pull some douchebag out of the bar, everyone that works there is like, he didn't start anything. He's great. He's a great tipper. We want him to stay.
That's hilarious, man.
And that's
Yeah.
true, actually. That's like, that's no bullshit. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, what, like, outside of because I was looking through your IMDb, like, what's next for you, man? Like, what are you planning on? Do you have any big projects
Yeah.
coming up or anything cool?
So, dude, I want to start acting, and I'm living in Los Angeles and having a following. I feel like it's very beneficial for, like, casting at network people. Like, it's just like, dude, people are gonna. I mean, unless I get my craft, like, I need to take it serious, way more serious. I need to go like take a class into like acting or some kind of drama because it's not easy, man. And like, yeah, I have followers, but people are telling me like it's gonna be easy for you, but I want to take it serious, man. And I do want to like be in like films and TV or even commercials, man. That's what like I kind of always wanted to do. I was living in New York City, like I said, to pursue that, and COVID hit, and then I was kind of just confused what I wanted to do, and that's when TikTok kind of lifted off for me. And now that like I'm here, I will always be doing content. I genuinely believe I'll be doing this for a very, very long time because it's kind of a very like it's suitable for me, man. I love how like the freedom of kind of like you, I'm sure you decide when you want to work, you know what I mean? And that's a great, I guess, blessing to have in life, man, because a lot of people are kind of stuck in this time of like I have to be up and do this and this. And I don't know, man, I love the freedom of this for real. And I do want to start acting though, again, like I said, because first of all, the pay is tremendous, and I guess it's taken more serious as a profession too, you know what I mean? And I like that.
You know who are also actors, and I never knew it until I met with them, and I think they have SAG card, is Aaron and Austin of Altcoin Daily. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're actors, not on their channel. I mean, they're not
No.
actors in
Right.
crypto, but like I know that they have like their SAG card and stuff,
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
found that pretty interesting. Those two guys are really nice. Like in person, they're really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, they're very soft spoken, very intelligent, very chill.
Yeah.
But you got to start going to some of these crypto conventions, dude. We'd have a blast.
Dude, yes. You know what's crazy, man? You brought that up. It's dude, the honest truth of it is I don't have any friends in the space,
Of
man.
course
Nobody
you
believes
do.
me. You're the only one, but you're not even like I've never met you in real life.
Yeah.
But like, bro, on some honest truth shit, like people are not believers yet. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And they don't understand how like we're very, very early still, man. And it's like no, I mean, bro, what percentage of the world do you think is in the crypto world? Maybe 1% still, like
The
still like
world,
the world, one
probably
to two
five,
percent,
8%
five,
now. It's
yeah.
probably grown quite a bit over the last market. So my guess.
But it's just yeah, it's hard to find people that would. I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm definitely gonna go now. It's just I like hanging, I like going to places with friends instead of just like traveling across the world by
But see,
myself.
that's
But
how
like,
I am too, man. I don't want to go to a crypto convention just to listen. I never even listen to the speakers much. I go to
yeah,
see
yeah,
everybody.
for sure.
I go to
Yeah,
hang out and have a good time with people that think like me. We're in the same shit. I'm a nerd, brother. I never leave my
dude.
house. So,
Yeah,
and I try to make everything a party. You know what I mean? So, and we have a good time, and there's always parties, there's always after parties, and we're always on these lists, and we go anywhere we
oh,
want basically and do whatever, and it's a great time.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, dude, you got to
I
come
gotta
hang
go.
out. But you
Yeah, I
said that,
guess let me know when the next
okay.
one is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
dude.
went to Decentral in Miami, and it was cool, and my wife and I kind of left early because I'm old, but but yeah, like if we have something planned out, there are yacht parties and all kinds of stuff, and
Hell yeah, dude.
but yeah, man, they're a good time, and people would love to meet you too, and especially if you
Great.
start getting more into the crypto. You said that people aren't awake yet to what's going on, and I was going to ask you, how are you going to change that?
Exactly, man. And I remember when you were talking about like me, being a creator in the crypto space. That's the thing, man. I mean, let's be honest. The only way people are gonna get, or the only way the space is gonna get bigger, is if people like me and you keep producing content. I don't even produce content in the crypto space, but like I guess just talk more about it and about like the world that we're like in, man. Right? Like crypto is kind of just inevitably gonna happen, but we're just like not enough people are in it yet for adoption, for true adoption. And it's like you're right, man. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do it, man. It's just gotta be it's gotta make sense for me, man, to create content on the crypto. You know what I mean? Like I do comedy in a way, and it's like, how can like I guess implement comedy and crypto at this, in the same video? It's like it's a lot easier said than done for sure. You know what I mean?
I sit here and I can't wait for you. Like because I see all the headlines like the Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX stuff and the Michael Saylor and the taxes and just, I don't know, the regulate. And I feel like there's so much funny shit that could be created out of so much of what's going on right now, and there's nobody doing it. And I'm like,
You're
where
right,
the hell
man.
is Kane? Like, why is Kane not on this shit? Because you would be, and there would initially probably be a lot of people that didn't understand it. It would depend on the way you did it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the people that do understand it, I could see you capturing a lot of these crypto people, bringing them to your world and kind of mixing them with the non-crypto people. And then people are learning from the crypto people in the comments of your videos that don't know what it is. And then they get it and they're like, oh, wow. And what is that? I can see you planting so many seeds, man. And I just think that
Yeah.
you would have an immense power in the space. And I would just say, keep learning. I feel like my role in crypto used to be, I'm just exploring everything because I'm learning, and then we'll see what happens. And now I feel like I've settled in on what I think is going to be legitimate long term, and I tend to leave a lot of the shit go, because now it's not so much about how are we going to get rich quick, but how are we going to utilize and adopt these technologies that have lasted and continued to prove themselves. And I still get people in my comments like, well, you talk about this, Crow, talk about that project. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I think it's all shit, and you don't want to hear me say that. And so I don't, and that's kind of the role I feel I've been taking to a lot of degree until something proves itself to me. Now I don't generally like talking about it. But that's me. The way you would do it is, I mean, it's open air and opportunity for you.
I want to say this, but I have a couple things I want to point out there. But first off, I want to say, like, dude, I kid you not, since like I started this social media journey and started finding success in it, I never had people that, like, I guess they give me like advice, like, hey, you should try this. It's always me saying, yo, you should try to be a creator. You're the first person in a very, very long time to be like, no, you should try this. I see like potential. And it's like, dude, I love that. That just like kind of gave me just a little, you know what I mean? Like a little, I get it gains interest, man. And because I'm already interested in the crypto space, and it's like I am a comedy creator, it's like I can definitely do it, man. And I'm so glad you're saying this, because, dude, it's motivation is what really gets me going. You know what I mean? And I see success in the space, man. I'm gonna do it one day for sure. It's just I got to figure it out. But another thing I wanted to say is, how long do you think you'll be doing the whole, I guess, YouTube and content creation for the crypto? How long do you see yourself doing this?
I don't know. The best answer I can say is as long as I'm needed, because I do a lot of, a lot of people were going really big and growing their channels to 500,000, 1 million subscribers during the last bull market. And I was more or less silent because I felt like my job was done in the bear market. My job was, I felt, about teaching people, get involved now, get into this now. This is the project that I think is going to do really well. These are the other projects that I think are going to do really well. And then once the bull market started, I felt like my job was done. Now it was kind of like a sit back and wait. And I was dead ass right about so much stuff. And then I get flooded with all, when are you coming back? We need more content. I'm doing so well. And I think now, for whatever reason, I just didn't ride out that bull market the way everyone else did. And I had a lot going on. We had moved to Puerto Rico. I mean, I'd literally like tweeted as I'm getting on a plane that the market had just peaked, and everybody thought I was fudding and like, what are you doing? You're trying to control them. And it was just like, it is what it is. I feel like there's going to come a point where the market has been taken over so much by major interests, like the institutions and the governments and the regulations and all of that, where my job to some degree will be almost concluded, because it will be managed more by people with much more power to kind of keep the shit out, people are going to be forced ultimately to adopt projects that have major real world use cases that are going through proper channels. And so, yeah, man, I guess that's the easiest thing. Or if I just made like a sickening amount of money, and then maybe my role in crypto would just change somehow. Maybe I don't do as much on YouTube or anything. I want to get into more charity work at some point. I want to get into something that means something. I'm too old. I need a legacy, and I talk about legacy a lot. And, there's a lot about that. I don't want to talk about too much. I get emotional and I talk about it. It's like, I want my life to have more meaning and purpose than just kind of what I'm doing now, but I don't feel like I really have the power yet. I don't have the resources yet. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm building for my bull market. And so, yeah.
That's amazing, man. What did I want to say? I lost my train of thought there. No, that's amazing that you actually want to like help the world, because man, there's not a lot of people like you. I mean, dude, what you're doing right now, man. Like, you have educated me, like just one person. I mean, like, not even just one. I'm saying like, I'm just thinking about it. It's like the amount of people that you've probably touched and reached. Like, I mean, it's not just 140,000 people that subscribe. It's like, bro, you've probably reached out to millions, you know what I mean? And probably changed lots of lives, man. I mean, definitely changed lots of lives. And I like you were saying, when you do make a fortune, it's not when, man. I'm sure you're gonna be totally chilling with the Cardano. And when that shit hits, and when we're steady going, like I believe myself is gonna I don't know, man. I don't know what my future holds, but I just do know that like the future is very bright in the space of like Cardano. And that's my main hold because of you. And I genuinely tell everybody this when the crypto conversation gets talked about in my daily living, not every day, but when it does happen, it's the first thing I say is Cardano. Like, that's the main one. You want to get into Cardano, look into Cardano. Here's Crypto Crow, watch his fucking videos and educate yourself. Your life will change in 5 years, inevitably. And dude, it's amazing, man. I will forever watch your videos as long as you're creating about crypto.
Dude, I appreciate that so much, man. And I really appreciate everything you do too, because you're the only TikToker that actually makes me laugh out loud. So I know I pulled you out of bed, man. I see you sipping your coffee. I appreciate it, man. We've been talking 41 minutes. That's awesome, man. And I'm here for you anytime you need me. You know that. You text me anytime you got questions or anything. I'm always happy to help. And Kane, I really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully everybody got something out of this and had a good time with us. And dude, I'll see you soon, man. I'll let you get back to your next thing you're gonna do today. I'm ready for a chuckle, man. Get it out there for me.
I had so much fun talking, man, for real. And I'm looking forward to the. I saw Charles tweeted out to you to you guys should hop on an interview, man. And I'm looking forward to that because, dude, I love that man's conversation, especially with you. That's an amazing. You guys are genuinely like. I remember watching a couple interviews back in the day. You guys have great conversation, man, especially because you're so educated in the space, and obviously the CEO of Cardano. Like, that's amazing, man. It is so cool.
He makes me feel kind of stupid, to be honest. Sometimes he's a brilliant guy, and he can think in ones and zeros. I need a lot of colors to make sense of things, but yeah, I definitely like talking to him, and I'm sure we will. He's asked me privately a few times, and because he wanted to talk about Wargrim, and I'm like, yeah, we will. I just want to have more to show. I don't want people to think this is some ghost project or vaporware or something. But I'm about to get a new build, and then for my devs, and then I'll have something to show off, and we'll be doing that soon. So yeah. I'm looking forward to that as well.
It's amazing you have the connection to that, dude, for real. Like, good for you, bro. Like, that's amazing.
I was the only one for so long that would even like talk and not just try and dump all over him, because I felt like I saw what he was trying to do. Everybody else was trying to pump other crap and, gave him a whole bunch of hell. So it is nice. It's nice to be able to talk to him sometimes.
He's legitimately going to change the world. Like, that's amazing, bro. Yeah. And you're over here having conversations with him. It's like, dude, and I'm having a conversation with you. I'm so grateful for this interview, for real, this conversation we've had, man. You don't understand. We have been talking about it, and I appreciate you, man. And it's amazing, dude. I wish nothing but the best for you and your family, bro. That's amazing, because you're a great guy, bro, for real, man.
Thanks, man. I try to be. I
For
try to
sure.
be. A lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, he better be a big teddy bear because he looks kind of dangerous. And since I got the neck tattoo, people don't know if I'm a cartel man or if I'm just a sweet guy. I'm like, my
Oh
wife
yeah.
made me do this because she's got some weird fetish for tattoos. So,
There you go.
all
There you go, bro.
right, man,
All
I
right, brother.
appreciate you. I'll let you go.
Oh
And
yeah.
to
All right,
everybody
brother.
else out there, crow your coins. Kane, thank you, man. And we'll see you again
Absolutely,
soon.
brother. Take care, brother.